Next, cancel culture has become a global epidemic. Now, extremists are trying to cancel Dave Rubin, a frequent guest on this show. He's not backing down, though. He joins us next. Western civilization once prided itself on its tolerance and its openness. That turned out to be a golden age. Now, we suffer under the plague of what they're calling cancel culture. The Des Moines Register reminded all of us last week of how awful it is when they decided to crush a charity fundraiser for 7-year-old tweets. Now, Rubin Report host Dave Rubin is being targeted for cancellation as well. Rubin is scheduled to appear this weekend at Mohawk College, but Antifa activists are trying to stop that event entirely. Dave Rubin joins us tonight. So, Dave, on what, how can Antifa, which is committed to violent revolution, is not should never be considered a mainstream group, how are they in charge of whether you get to speak in public or not?
Yeah, well, first off, let's just clean up what Antifa is. You know, they call themselves Antifa, meaning that they're anti-fascist, but they are the fascists. These are people
yes, they are.
Who use violence to silence their political opponents.
That's right.
They have bought into collectivism. They have bought into identity politics. They have bought into the very idea that if someone holds different political beliefs than you, and I'm not talking about extreme political beliefs, I'm talking about just any different political belief than they have, that these people should be shouted down, they should be violently harassed and silenced. So I am scheduled to speak on the 29th of this month at Mohawk College in Canada with Maxime Bernier, who is running under the People's Party of Canada ticket for Prime Minister. He's basically a libertarian. I've had him on my show. Right. He is a very decent man by all accounts. He has some positions. You're not going to believe this, Tucker. These are positions of the right. That's what he has as a libertarian. And for these people, they have threatened to shut down the event, and they want to take pictures of people that show up and check their car, you know, the license plate numbers, and all of these intimidation tactics, which we know they've done at college events and all sorts of other things. We were informed that they were going to cause the event to do 10 times the security fee that was originally agreed upon. I've offered to cover that myself. I intend on being there. We intend on going ahead with the event. And more than anything else, I mean, the sick and twisted part of this, as they call us neo-Nazis and the rest of this, I grew up with Holocaust survivors in my family, in my extended family and friends, and I know what that is. You know, every week I come on your show and we talk about freedom of speech. We talk about the defense of Western liberal values, and we are running thin on them because they are calling everyone a Nazi and a bigot, and it is silencing good people. And we're running out of runway before they silence so many of us that the few of us that stand up for it, we're going to run out of room too. So we need the good people that watch your show. That was the 90% of Americans and the 90% of Western living citizens start standing up, because if you live in the West now, if you live in America or Canada now in 2019, and you're afraid of saying what you think now, what do you think is going to be like when these people get into power?
That's exactly right. Where will we be in 20 years?
Yeah.
If we'll be here at all. Dave Rubin, Godspeed. We are with you. Obviously,
thanks, Tucker. You've been a huge ally in this, and I appreciate it.
Oh, it's heartfelt. Trust me. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Time now for